How did the affair end? My affairs always end when they start talking about leaving their wives. Not too long ago, everybody knows how I got, I don't want to say famous, but how I got notoriety on TikTok, right? I said back in December of 2020, I said, hey, ladies, this is why men cheat. I cheated back in 2008. This is what happened. I told this story really not thinking of the backlash, not backlash, but how it was going to react. And that video got, oh my God, like overnight, it got like, I don't know, almost 1 million views. And I'm like, what the hell? So I had never handled that much attention. But again, this is an old story. I was sharing it just to help other marriages. Like, hey, you know, mine fell apart. Here's what you can do to not have it fall apart. You know, learn from my mistakes. So everyone kind of started to like me after the fact because they saw that I took accountability. I wasn't blaming the ex-wife. And I was like, okay, perfect. So cheating always comes up on my page. Women want to know what men are thinking while they're contemplating that decision. And I've been honest whether it pisses them off or not. I'm honest with them. But I recently came up with the idea because we never talk about it. What about the woman that cheats with the married man? That's an interesting topic that really not many people have tapped into. We all know what's wrong, right? We all know cheating's wrong. So what would compel a woman to start having an affair with a married man? So not too long ago, I'll see if I can find it here on Facebook, since everybody on Facebook loves to be vocal. I put the question out there. If you've had an affair with a married man, message me. I want to talk to you. I want to ask you some questions and find out why you did this. And I had overnight about 50 women message me and said, I had an affair. I'm in a relationship. I've had many affairs with married men. What do you want to know? So here are the questions I came up with. I didn't know what to ask. So here are the questions. I'm like, okay. And then I even put the question out on Facebook. I go, ladies, if you can ask the woman who cheated with your husband any question, what would you ask? And I got some good answers and I used some of them here, but here are the 13 questions I've sent to over 50 women. And I've gotten a few responses and I'll read them for you. But here are the questions for those who can't see on TikTok. Number 1, how did you two meet? Number 2, what is your age? What is his age? 3, did you know he was married or did he lie? 4, we all know cheating is wrong. What justified your decision to have an affair with a married man? 5, was this emotional or a physical affair? 6, where would you meet to have sex? 7, how and when did you communicate with him? 8, did you know his wife, like as a friend, right? 9, did you ever feel bad for his wife or children? 10, how did your affair end? 11, have you had relationships with other married men? 12, why have you had multiple relationships with married men? So this is all kind of like one question, right? And the last one is, what is it about married men that attracts you? So I've sent these 13 questions to about 10 women so far, right? And I've gotten some answers. And I'm not going to share screens because I told them I was going to protect their identities. And I am. Their identities are 100% safe in my hands. But I am going to read some of the responses. All right, here's one. This is an interesting one, okay? So again, not saying her name, but question 1 was, how did you two meet? Is the question. She responded, we dated for 4 years in high school and college. My husband passed away and we began talking again as friends. That led to him leaving his wife. We never really stopped being in love. We broke up because we were just really too young. Our lives paralleled each other. Both got married 6 weeks apart, 2 kids each, all the same ages. We kept in touch periodically throughout our lives. He knew when I was getting married. So these are high school sweethearts. Thank you, Misfit. These are they were high school sweethearts. They broke up, but they kept in touch throughout their lives. Okay. He had kept tabs on me, but never interfered with my marriage or life. He was also faithful to his wife. Okay. What were your ages? They're more or less the same. 1 year apart. Did you know he was married, or did he lie? I knew he was married. His wife knew. He moved out before we were physically involved. She knew about me their entire marriage. He had called off the wedding twice. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Okay. So let's kind of rewind here. So this is somebody who cheated with a married man, but the history is they were high school sweethearts. And he actually was engaged to somebody else and called off the wedding twice because he was still in love with his high school sweetheart. Oh my God. Okay. We all know cheating is wrong. What justified your decision to have an affair with a married man? His marriage had been over for years with her infidelity. Okay, so according to her, this guy's wife cheated. He stayed until the kids grew up, and basically they lived as roommates. That is verified by his wife as well. It was an old frame rekindling. Okay, so old flame. Was this emotional or physical affair? Both. Definitely emotional more than anything. We considered each other to be best friends and know things about each other that our spouses never did. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Can you imagine that? You're married to somebody, you raise kids up until they move out, and they are still things you don't know about your husband or wife because that's between them and somebody else. Oh my God. Where would you meet to have sex? She said his house or mine. He moved in with me for several months. Okay. How did you communicate with him? Phone, text, in person, whenever we meet. Okay. I guess they didn't do anything until they moved out. Okay. Did you ever feel bad for his wife or kids? No, because she cheated on him first. Okay. All right. So there's one scenario. Okay. And it's funny, for as many women who reached out to me, and I said, hey, this is going to be for a book I'm writing. It's also going to be for a podcast video series. I do want to interview you. I promise I'll change your name. I'll change the circumstances of what happened. Your identity will be protected. A lot of them agreed. And today when I started sending planners to like, okay, let's sit down for 1 hour and talk this out. A lot of them said, nope, I can't share this with, I can't put this out in the world. No, I understand their hesitation. This one woman who said she can do it. I'm going to change what she said here, but you guys don't know her. But she says, I'm having second thoughts about this. My spouse still doesn't know. Okay. He and his spouse, the guy she cheated on with, aren't aware it was me. Let me read this again. He and his spouse isn't aware it was me, being that they have been separated over 3 years and are getting ready to sign their divorce papers. This is my husband's best friend. They've been friends since they were 12 years old. We've all been friends for a long time. I've said this many times. You can't trust anybody. This is this guy's best friend. Can you imagine, guys in the chat? Your best friend since you were 12 is fucking your wife. How that happened, I'm pretty sure. I don't know the full story, but that happens. Let's see. My situation, this all ended for me and him about 20 months ago, but it lasted for 10 years and nobody knows. I've been married for 29 years. So there you go. There you go. There's another situation. Married 29 years, and she's been having an affair with her husband's best friend for the past 10. There's this other woman here who, let me see here. I'm currently 55, and I've never dated a single man since I was 17. She's never dated a single man. All the men in this woman's life since she was 17, she's 55 now, have all been married men. Okay, so I sent her this questionnaire, And again, I'm going to kind of read it slow because I don't want to disclose names or anything like that. But the first question is, how did you meet, right? I have met these men through mutual friends at the gym. One was a neighbor, and the recent one is the owner of a department where I live. I have never approached them first. They always approach me, is what she says. Second question is, what are the ages? She says, when I was 17, he was 21 or 23 or 20. Okay. I got pregnant by him, one of them, and he divorced his wife and stayed with me. And we raised our child until 18. Then he left me for another woman he was having an affair with. Okay. I'm not judging. That's just like, it's like a cycle, you know? And again, I don't want to, I know people are going to be reacting in the chats to this, and you have every right to react the way you feel you have to react. But again, these women didn't have to share anything with me. And I appreciate their bravery for sharing this. And again, I'm going to protect their identity, but this is all for educational purposes. All right. I want everybody to be aware how these things happen, because we all know it's wrong, but it still happens. Your best friend since you were 12 should not be sleeping with your wife, but it happens. How does it happen? Okay. Let's see here. The third question is, did you know he was married or did he lie? I knew all of them were married except my most recent one. He told me he was not married, but he's been with her since high school. He's bored of her. He slept with one woman his entire life, and he wants a new woman. Okay, let's see here. Was this an emotional or physical affair? Oh, okay. Whoa, okay. Hold up. We all know cheating is wrong. What justified your decision to have an affair with a married man? She says, hold on, I got to read this. Wow. Hold up. I know this sounds crazy, but I was violently abused by both my parents my entire life. And by the time I was 11, my mom was on her 5th marriage. Her 4th husband died by suicide. I saw it happen. I never liked women because of her and never trusted men. Oh my God. With married men, I expect them to leave. I don't want a relationship. Well, holy shit. Okay, so there's some perspective there. All right, that's trauma. That's something she's dealt with since she was a kid. She was violently abused. So can you imagine what that can do to a young kid and to a person, right? So, wow, man, wow. So that explains why she only goes to married men, because she just said she doesn't trust them, and she hates women. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's continue here. Was this an emotional, physical affair? Affairs are usually physical. I'm like, well, duh. Yeah. Where would you meet to have sex? I've met them at their homes when their wives were at work. Usually during the school year when the kids are at school. The house is empty from 8 to 3. There you go. My house, at their jobs, in his car, or parked in deserted areas. Did you know his wife is the next question. No, hold on. How and when did you communicate with him? They would call every day. My recent one calls me all the time when he's at work. We drive everywhere together and have lunch. So they meet during lunch. And I know when his wife is around, when he texts me a blue heart emoji, I know not to text back. Wow. Okay. So there's a signal. So again, if the wife's in the room, he sends her a blue heart emoji icon. That's the signal for her to stop. Did you know his wife? I've never known any of the wives. If the woman is my friend, her man is not an option. Okay. There's some code there. Did you ever feel bad for the women? Excuse me. Did you ever feel bad for the wives or the children? I have never felt bad about the wives or children because I never had any intention of breaking their home apart. I am just using him for attention, gifts, and sex. That is it. How did the affair end? My affairs always end when they start talking about leaving their wives. I don't want to be in another relationship. If I become the new wife, my position opens up and I hate women like myself. Oh my God. I truly do. My recent one right now is beginning to talk about leaving his wife and I don't know how to handle it. Wow. Have you had relationships with other married men? Several. Again, I've never dated a single man in my life. They've all been married. Why have you had multiple relationships with married men? They can't hurt me. I expect them to leave, I suppose. Also, I can't handle sharing my life and home with somebody else. This way, there aren't any overnights. Once they're done and I'm done, they're gone. I don't know how to be in a relationship. What is it about married men that attracts you? They go home. They think the world of me. There's always free lunches, gifts, and flowers and money. There you go. Excuse me. This is from a woman who's dated nothing but married men or seen married men. That is from her mind. That is from her perspective. So again, I'm not saying this to judge. I just want this out to be for educational purpose so you can understand how their minds work and what their perspective is.